Right now, I've got the option of editing that last video, which is probably pretty boring, or I can start taking some measurements in order to make a camera mount, which is going to mount a little camera up here in the corner of my front door, which is a sliding door, in order to replace this camera right here, which is just vaguely hidden in with some dying plants. The cable for this camera just comes out of the window and it's coiled up a bit underneath this little plant, so it's definitely about time to replace that. Alright, I've just gotten home from work. This print finished a long time ago and it is very hairy. Probably doesn't help that it was raining and super humid and I don't have any proper protection. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. This print is pretty dang ugly. This is an absolute mess. But it's only V1. Half of the measurements I put into this were educational guesses because I didn't measure some things and I didn't want to go and measure it. So let's see if we can force this camera into here in the correct orientation. Ooh, okay, yeah, that part is not liking that, but okay, so minus that top ring though, it fits. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm more or less actually pretty happy with this. The design seems fine, and it's holding the camera by three different points. Now, one thing that I will have to change is I didn't anticipate the little LDR sensor down here and the IR lights, so I'd need to trim this front bit off in order to better accommodate that. If I were to just move it around a bit though, like I can position it and it doesn't move or anything, so it's doing its job. That's pretty good for, you know, a first print. Usually I have to prototype and do a couple of prints just to make sure that things actually fit and sit properly. So I don't think I'm going to change too much in terms of the sizing, though I think I will put a little bit of extra plastic on this and tidy up some of this. Like these lines out here, they don't need to be this thick. They're just this thick because I was just making it up as I went. Surprisingly though, V1, it almost fits. The only part that doesn't fit is the part that, well, I didn't quite measure it. It wasn't, I need a way to be able to measure angles and stuff. Maybe if I could even like import an image so that I can try and match angles. If it wasn't for that, I would say that this would be 95% of the way. Alright, the reprint has done. I thinned things off a little bit. I felt things were a bit too thick, a bit too sticky outy, you know. I don't want it to be the most obvious thing in the world. I want it to partially blend in. It is black on a white background, so obviously there's only so much of it that can really blend in, but I'm wanting it to fit the scene. Now this is the tricky part. I think it's more or less there. There's just some little bits of support stuck in there, which is making it hard to actually slide it on, but seems like I've done a pretty good job. After cleaning out what was left of the supports on the inside of that little opening, I was then able to lock it in place. And there we go. Got that camera set in place. Just need to tidy up the cable. Otherwise, it's looking pretty good. Oh, mail time. What have we got in here? Hey! So here are the little USB-C female connectors. Oh, absolutely fantastic. And a couple of voltage divider circuits. Oh, so I can finally finish off soldering up that little USB-C conversion. As for this bigger box, this is, I don't know, this is nothing special for most people. I am very excited about the contents of this package because I've wanted one of these for a pretty long time. Now, admittedly, this is kind of old tech now, partially dated, but the thing is it's still better than anything I own. Oh, that's probably accessories. The creme de la crop. This is second hand and very, very well packaged. Well done for the guy that packaged this. He lives down near the bottom of the North Island, I think. I think he's in Wellington. Woo. Hey! Up next, I'm going to try running a cable for a little backyard camera. It's sort of down this long backyardy bit, and I'm thinking of putting it up there, in between the gutter and the this downspout and this other side bit. Now, I'm hoping to take advantage of these, up and down ridges, and I'll shove this cable snake up here, and hopefully I can put enough up there so that I can get a stick over to get a grip of it and pull it through, so I can use this to pull a cable through. The other difficulty of this is that there is a black paper as well as some sort of, I think chicken mesh or something, chicken wire, that is in between it as well to stop bugs and stuff from getting in. So I guess I'm just sort of hoping that it doesn't get stuck there. Well, I can hear it moving around quite a bit. That should be enough, that there's an absolute bundle of mess in there of this cable snake that I've run through. So it should be reasonably easy to find and hopefully just as easy to get a grip on so that I can tape some cables to it. Alright. What can we see here? Okay.
So there's this black paper stuff there that is in the way. It is reasonably thin. Doesn't feel like there's any of the chicken mesh, but that black paper has gotten in the way and stopped us from being able to easily complete this. There's the possibility that I could pull it all out and refeed it and it somehow end up underneath the black cable, but currently it's on top of the black cable and it's not sticking out anywhere. The other option is I could just put it in where I can actually physically get access to that black paper and just run the cable along here in the gutter. Nothing that good. Here it is. Oops. Looks like it's tied itself in a knot anyway. That would have been difficult to undo. That's a pretty easy non-destructive way of getting a cable from inside outside. And I'm going to do the same for the house. Maybe, eventually, possibly, I don't know. And of course the other end of the cable is going to be run over to my little networking area, giving it PoE for that security camera. There we go. Slightly different placement to what I initially planned, but it's because I didn't want that side skirting bit to obstruct the image. Now, I've also gone for a sideways shot. I'm not shooting a YouTube video, I'm not shooting Instagram Reels. It doesn't actually matter what the orientation of the camera is, as long as it's actually capturing everything that you actually want to be able to see. And while watching it, I could just turn my phone to the side. Not that big of an issue. To finish this very camera-focused video, I'll be setting up this old camera for the garage here. It'll be set up in this corner, where it seems to be able to stick out here just a little bit, which I'm hoping is just enough that it'll be able to give a decent image. I might do a quick test run with it, just dangle the cable along going up to it and screw it in slightly. This is a bit of a tricky one. It's just in the corner a little bit too much, and it's getting obstructions, both this wooden beam here and this bit of metal here. So at the least I need to bring it out so it's in line with this bit of metal so that I can aim it back this way a bit more, which will give me a very slight amount more coverage. I think this corner camera will be partially temporary.
So I've gone and gotten a little piece of wood, hopefully it's thick enough, and I'm just going to use that as a spacer.
Looking at the shot that it's getting, that is definitely only going to be a temporary camera there. But it is better than nothing. Well, that's probably a good finish to this video. Now that I've gotten a couple of cameras set up outside, as well as having this camera set up inside. Well, at least inside the garage, so that it's keeping an eye on the stuff around here. Hopefully this isn't too long, and hopefully the upload isn't delayed too much, like last week's one. I think it was uploaded a whole week late. But I don't have a set schedule, so I upload whenever I upload. Now that I got these female connectors for the USB-C in our next video, I will finally be converting this drawing tablet into a USB-C enabled drawing tablet. I didn't think the name through too well, did I?